Hi, guys. Welcome back to my podcast, When Life Gives You Lemons. This episode is going to be focusing on attachment and overthinking our thoughts and how we feel, how we overcome attachment issues. This is something I wanted to focus on because I have been going through a little bit of it and learning how to overcome attachment and be better for myself and how to cut ties really simple and learning that, it's okay and I have a right to be upset, but it's time to let go and focus on myself. I've been thinking a lot about attachment lately, not just in relationships, but why we get so emotionally tied to certain people. And I realized something: a lot of the time, we're not actually attached to the person. We are attached to the feeling that they give us. And a lot of the reason this happens is because we're not fully giving ourselves the love or validation that we need. So we typically go to that person who's making us feel good. Or maybe we got used to them making us so happy that we just, started relying on them. Attachment is when your emotional stability is depending on someone else. Your mood when you have an attachment is depending on if they're texting you, if they're responding to you, if they're giving you attention. You start looking for validation outside of yourself and you're going towards them. And that's when it starts to go downhill and you're starting to get attached. You need to realize that you are the most important thing, and you your thoughts and your mind is what is controlling your decisions, and that you're making yourself happy. You can make yourself have a good day or a bad day. Even if we have bad things that are happening throughout the day, it's most important that we bring ourselves back up and realize our emotions are 100% normal and that we're going to try and make the best out of the day. When you're attached to someone, their actions will start controlling your emotions more than your own thoughts do. You're going to start thinking that this is not going well. Well, hi, guys. Welcome back to my podcast, When Life Gives You Lemons. This episode is mainly going to be about attachment and overthinking, something I've been personally thinking about recently. Um, Attachment is not just in relationships, but it's why. Never mind. Hi, guys. Welcome back to my podcast, When Life Gives You Lemons. This episode is all going to be about attachment and why we get attached so easily and overthinking. I've been thinking a lot about attachment recently, not just in relationships, but why we get so emotionally attached to certain people. And I realized something is that a lot of the time we're not actually attached to the person, we're actually attached to the feeling that they give us. And a lot of the reason that happens is that we're not fully giving ourselves the love and the stability that we need or the validation in ourselves. Attachment is defined when your emotional stability depends on someone else. You're no longer making your day good for you. You can't make yourself really happy. You're depending on someone else to make you happy, to make you feel good. Your mood when you're attached is going to depend on how they text you, if they respond, how they respond, if they're giving you all that attention that you need or are craving. Um, and then that's when it starts to go downhill when they're not giving you that stuff and your emotions start spiraling downhill. When you start looking for validation outside of yourself, that's when you're starting to get attached, is when you're not getting validation from yourself, you're getting it from someone else. When you're attached to someone, their actions will start controlling your emotions way more than your own thoughts do. Your thoughts are going to start spiraling out of control. You're going to wonder what you're going to text them. You're going to wonder what should happen next, what you should do next. You're going to probably be asking your friends what to do because you don't know. A lot of the time we do end up freaking out and texting something out of pocket or like something we didn't really want to say, but we're trying to get validation, which happens a lot, and that's okay. But we need to know, hey, you know what? This is the time I gotta cut ties. Um, something sometimes we think that we're attached to someone because we love them, but 90% of the time we're attached to them because they're giving us something that we're not giving ourselves. Like I just said, um, it's not that you love them, it's just because you're getting that good feeling of being loved or like being, you know what I mean, that good feeling, but they don't really like you back. So you just keep climbing up the rope, and you know what I mean, they're not giving you anything back. So for an example, the things that they're giving us that we're not giving ourselves is reinsurance, attention, comfort, validation. They're starting to give us that maybe for a certain amount of time, and then they just randomly stop, and then we keep craving it and trying to go after it. Um, when this happens, you typically are going to start constantly checking your phone. Your mood's going to change based on their behavior, based on how they react, or based on what they say. Your mood is going to change because of that. You're going to start over analyzing things that they say, constantly overthinking. Oh, like, what if they think this? What if they think that? What if they, you know what I mean? But the most important thing is that you're reading that message, and at this point, if you're listening to this episode, you're attached. You know what I mean? It's not like you're just here because you're generally like, you guys do have a relationship going and you guys are in that talking stage, but clearly this is not working out and you guys aren't talking. So we need to get over that thing, that mindset of, okay, well, they texted me this, how do I react to this, how do I say this, like, what if they don't like me, what if, why are they saying that they don't want to hang out anymore, why is this happening, like, no, cut ties. You don't deserve them, you deserve better. And it sucks, it's gonna suck straight up. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard week. It's going to be a hard month. It's going to maybe be the worst heartbreak of your life, or maybe something that you experienced in the past and you're still getting over it to this day. You need to realize that was gone and you deserve better. You were giving them what they wanted, but they weren't giving you what you wanted. And that just goes to show they weren't meant for you. And it's hard to accept that, it really is, when you think that someone generally really likes you. But the most important thing is that you move on. You gotta cut ties. You gotta say, I deserve better. You know what? I had a good run, but I have to take care of myself now. Feeling like you need their attention to feel okay is understatement. That's a really strong thing. I can't tell you. I know a lot of you are probably experiencing this yourself or have experienced it. Your emotions, or their emotions, create how you feel throughout your day. If you're getting really, really excited because they're asking you out or talking to you, or maybe the next day they just completely stop talking to you and now your day is just completely ruined. That's 100% normal to go through that. Obviously, you have a right to be upset. They just ditched you. Or maybe they're just not talking to you at all. And they're not telling you why, or like, you know what I mean? They're freaking you out. You gotta cut ties. You have to let go of them, and you gotta realize that you deserve better, and you gotta move on. It's gonna hurt, like I said, and I'll say it a million times, it's gonna hurt bad. But you gotta get over it, and you have to realize that you deserve more. If someone's small actions have the power to completely change your mood, that's a sign of an attachment. Again, it's one thing if it's like just happened one time or like two times, but if it's happening every day, every week, or however long it is, that's not a good thing. That's not a good thing at all. Um, But the most important thing out of this whole episode is that we need to build a relationship with ourselves. We need to try and create hobbies so that, we're doing something for ourselves that are fun, maybe even having alone time, putting on a face mask, taking a shower, taking a bath, going for a run, going to the gym, by ourselves. Something that has always helped me, and why I mainly started getting into podcasting and journalism, is because I love journaling. I love writing about my thoughts and feelings when I have so much bundled up inside me and I just want to scream it out loud or cry or freak out. I love journaling my feelings. Um, There's obviously many different ways to cope, but I think journaling is the best. That or hanging out with my friends has brought me pure joy, which I love. Self reflection and realizing that your worth and what you deserve and how to make the situation better is also a huge thing. Um, like I said, it's 100% normal to go through what you're going through, and it is going to suck. I know it's going to suck, but it's how you overcome it and what you do to get out of the situation. Luckily, I have amazing friends, and I'm very, very, very thankful for them. The biggest one being my roommate. I love her to death. And if you don't have that support, just know I'm always here if you wanted to reach out to me or ask me any questions or get my opinion. I want to make sure that I'm here for everyone who's going through this or did go through this, or maybe even get your opinion on how you handled the situation. But the most important thing is that you take care of yourself and you know your worth. It's going to hurt, and I'm so sorry. But the most important thing is you get back up and you keep trying. You need to start living your life for you. You need to start having a good time. You need to start doing good for yourself. You need to find love with yourself before any of this can happen again, okay? It's normal to rant. It's normal to cry. It's normal to maybe even sit in your bed for a whole day and just, you're going to be upset. It's normal, 100%, but you got to get up the next day. You got to keep trying. You got to keep working towards yourself. And just overall do better for yourself because you deserve more. And you're going to be looking back at this moment and however long it is and be like, wow, like it was rough, but I'm proud of myself. Or, you know what I mean? I'm glad I cut ties when I did. Or, just so many different options. I'm glad I didn't text this person when this happened. I'm glad I just let it play out because immediately, hey, guess what? I don't like you. I'm not doing this, or this isn't happening right now. Cut ties. You're gone. Okay, I need to take care of myself. And you're doing that for yourself. You're creating the attachment, and now it's time to cut the tie. Overthinking has a lot to do with this, but you know what I mean? You're just sending yourself into spirals because you have an attachment. Detaching does not mean you stop caring about people. It just means you stop abandoning yourself from them. And I'll say that again. Detaching doesn't mean you stop caring about people. It means you stopped abandoning yourself for them, for someone. You're not abandoning yourself. You're not changing yourself. You should never change yourself or stop taking care of yourself for someone. You are the star. And you know what I mean? You don't deserve something like that. Everyone deserves something good in their life. And you're going to get that because you're creating that life for yourself. But thank you guys so much for listening to this episode. This will be published on Spotify and YouTube. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out at whatever time. I will get you guys back as soon as possible. And as always, thank you all so much for listening. If you want to put any tips or anything in the comment for other people, that would be amazing. You guys have a great night. Bye.